What's going on? Bobby Robbins here. I'm out for a cruise right now on the Sweet Blades. For all the northern Wisconsin locals, I'm in front of the Dewar Gym, a legendary spot for any Marinette folk around here. But I have a copy of my Savage memoir right here, Sex, Drugs, Pucks, and Souls. If you haven't read it, it's the real deal. It's my story across those four categories of sex, drugs, pucks, and souls, and the deepest dive, the deepest glimpse you could ever imagine into a man's journey. So I have this hardcover here, autographed. Let me see. You'll have to take my word for it. I signed the inside of it, and I'm actually putting it over here in the secret library. So if you're watching this, maybe check it out at the Dewar Gym, see if the book's still here. So let's put it in there. I'm going for a stroll. I'm going to take you on a tour of the Northwoods. I grew up in this area. There it is, in front of the Dewar Gym. Grab yourself a Savage memoir. I grew up in this area, actually in the town over in Peshtigo. So I'm up here doing a skate, rehashing some old memories, envisioning new memories that I'm going to make. I'm at a pretty unique point in my life right now where I just published this book, a Savage memoir. A Savage memoir called Sex, Drugs, Pucks, and Souls. And I just started this video and I have to itch my nose. Hold on one second. Okay, booger check, we're good. I'm making YouTube content right now. So I'm putting out some content and I was like, maybe I'll just do a chill skating video and I'll just skate around the town that I grew up in. I grew up playing hockey here for the Marinette Menominee Chiefs, now called the M&M Thunder. Kind of a unique spot because one part of Marinette is in Wisconsin and Menominee is in Michigan, so we were a border town, but we competed in the Wisconsin state tournament. So grew up playing hockey here, and then went down to Green Bay and kind of started as a young teen on my hockey journey. So I'm going to think about that journey now as I skate. And ironically, here's a fellow hockey bro here, Aiden. What's up, man? Young man I used to give some hockey tips to. So this is our town here, Marinette, Wisconsin. You might know this town from a famous legend we have here named Ed the Diver. He does a lot of diving all over the place, all over Wisconsin and in these rivers here. But he's really big on social media. Give him a follow. Ed the Diver does a lot of good stuff, cleans up these waterways. Oh, it feels good to be out on the blades. So I just got this new camera. I got an Insta360 X4 360 camera. I'm testing it out right now. I got a DJI Mic 2 and I'm just cruising. And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna go cruising through the Northwoods of Wisconsin and my old stomping grounds, going over some old haunts, some old memories, well, what should I wear? Just wear a plain t-shirt or maybe a dress shirt? I don't know. But I had an idea. In honor of the legend himself, Mr. AJ Galante, put on the Trashers, the Danbury Trashers jersey in celebration of my friend AJ's return to pro hockey with the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and just wanted to wish him a lot of good luck in the season. And oh no, I'm getting out of breath. I'll have to slow it down here, nice and easy. So funny, I actually was talking to AJ last week as I was seriously considering a return to pro hockey. I retired from pro hockey 10 years ago, 2024. Bad concussion put me out of the game. Really a nasty thing, a nasty event in my life. And that put a damper on hockey for me for a while. I didn't want anything to do with hockey. I didn't want to play hockey, and I didn't. You know, I did. I coached professionally in Spain for 1 year. after I retired, a couple years after I retired, I got a call and got an opportunity to go coach in the pro league in Spain as the head coach. Took it all the way to the finals. CH Jaca, legendary place, Jaca, Spain, in the north, in the Pyrenees. Beautiful, amazing year, but ultimately decided that coaching wasn't really for me, and I wanted to really focus on my book. I knew I had this book inside me. I knew I had this savage memoir inside of me. And I came back to America with the intention of extracting that sucker, getting that thing out. And I did it. Well, I had the initial intention of doing that, but then kind of had an opportunity to work in Minnesota at a private Christian hockey academy, kind of mentoring young men, also working with pro players, college players, helping them in their hockey journey as well as in their spirit quest. And that was awesome. That was a cool opportunity. But after 2 years of that, just felt on my heart that I needed to write this book, that my story mattered, and my story needed to be told. And I had a big chunk of it written already. I had about 100,000 words, 130,000 words. The majority of it, a bunch of ramblings of a drunken lunatic, but some nuggets of gold in there. Some nuggets of gold. Okay, I will tell you this. We just crossed over from Wisconsin, Marinette, Wisconsin, over that bridge, and now we're in Menominee, Michigan. An interesting dynamic because weed, marijuana, cannabis is legal in Michigan and illegal in Wisconsin. So now when you cross the border, you can smell that sweet nectar, the skunk essence. Oh, nice, look at this. You can smell it. So we have brand new, oh nice, brand new paved road right here, smooth as silk. So that's an interesting dynamic in this town, is one side of the river, weed's legal, the other side, it's illegal. And then in the middle of it, I'll show you, maybe on the way back, in the middle of it is our biggest industry, the biggest industry in this town, which is, it's a company, a military contracting company that makes giant warships. You know, those big gray warships? So, kind of an interesting town up in the Northwoods. What was I saying? Oh boy, got the fatigue. I'm just gonna be rambling here. I don't know what I was saying. Giving a shout out to AJ Galante. Returned to pro hockey. Oh yeah, I started skating again, which was awesome. Started skating again and was contemplating a return to pro hockey. If you don't know about my hockey career, I was a fighter. I was the guy doing all the fighting out there. Became pretty good at it. Became a pretty effective fourth line type checker fighter. And let's go this way. Fought my way to the NHL with the Boston Bruins after 10 years in the minor leagues. 132 pro fights. Just giving her, man. Just giving her. And finally, dream came true. I learned how to chase dreams. I learned how to chase big dreams, man. Oh, did I learn. I learned how to keep that vision in your mind and to never let doubt get in there. And if doubt does get in there, smash it. Smash it and replace it with belief, with faith that you're gonna accomplish it, that you already did. And you just gotta walk it out. Walk it out. 1,000,000 steps, 1,000 steps, however many steps it takes to get there. You walk it out. So I did that, and it happened. 2014, became the oldest rookie to make an NHL opening day roster with the Boston Bruins. I thought my life finally made sense. Thought it finally made sense. I knew that once I got to the top of the world, it would make sense. I grew up in this tiny town, the town over, actually Peshtigo. Played hockey here in Marinette, this bigger town. But I always knew that I wanted to get out. I wanted to see the world. I always felt like I was on a great adventure, a great quest. And hockey was the vehicle to allow me to travel on that quest. And it brought me all over the world. It's pretty awesome. But then like I said, I got my injury. Didn't want to play anymore. And had some opportunities, got to coach, got to work in a sports ministry position, helping young men in their sport and in their faith. And then about 4 years ago, I knew it. I had a call on my life to write something significant. Not some crap, not some waste of pages, not a waste of space, but something significant, man. A piece of literature, a savage memoir. And so I had that old manuscript that I'd been working on for a bunch of years, and I finally got laser focused. I dialed in and just started going sentence by sentence, savagery by savagery, extracting sentences, doing the time, sitting there behind the desk, letting it flow, heavy editing. Did it all myself. Had people advising me. It's always good to seek wisdom. Had people advising me to talk to this agent or that agent and this publisher or that publisher. But I knew my story meant something, and I knew I had to publish it myself. I couldn't let anybody touch it. So I started a publishing company, Rotterdam Books. Rotterdam. That was from a vision as a 19-year-old young man in Amsterdam. Oh, railroad tracks. Hey-oh. 19-year-old young man rocked, walking the streets of downtown Amsterdam, seeing a sign, Rotterdam. That's a town there in the Netherlands. And that always stuck out to me, Rotterdam, okay. Well, that became my publishing imprint. So I extracted this book, we published it, and it's a savage memoir. Sex, drugs, pucks, and souls, secret life of a hockey fighter. It's the real deal. It's the real deal, my friend. All right, we gotta get across here. Okay, so now it's out. Now I'm really focusing on social media. This doesn't come naturally to me, but I'm realizing the power of it. I read Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Gary V's Day Trading Attention. I understand TikTok now, or at least I'm starting to. It didn't make sense to me before, but I get it now. What a powerful tool. So, recording myself on the ice now. I found this new passion to be back on the ice, and I'm 42 years old, out of the game for 10 years. I was like, I think I still got it. So I had some thoughts about making a comeback and going to play for AJ in the Federal League or the Southern Pro, Single A Pro hockey, and try and do it again, but this time as a skill guy, as a playmaker. I'd obviously still play a hard and heavy game, but I wasn't gonna fight anymore. I just knew I can't fight anymore. Don't want to. And I was having some talks in the Federal League and was really considering it. I actually wanted to go play in Amsterdam. That was my goal, get back to Amsterdam. There's something there for me. Something there for me on a soul level, as an artist. You know, it's a kind of a romantic notion is to go to Amsterdam and write your book. You know, Quentin Tarantino wrote Pulp Fiction there in Amsterdam. What's up, guys? So that was always there. Maybe I'll go play in Amsterdam. Maybe I'll go play in the Federal League. How's that gonna work? How's that gonna work? How's that gonna work as a fighter, this NHL fighter making his return? I'm just gonna have to say no to guys and say I'm playing a skill game. Well, anyway, started to get in shape. Still have a way to go. That's gonna be part of this journey too. I'll tell you that much. So, found out that I'm actually unable to return for medical reasons. Can't really get into it, but medical and insurance reasons. I can't go back to hockey. Can't fight. Can't play full contact. So, was a little let down, if I can be honest, but along with that was a little relieved. I was like, okay, good. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you a cool spot here. This is the waterfront of Menominee. Cool spot here. Really nice houses. Probably the nicest part of this area in the North Woods. I'll do a little cruise through here. The famous mansions on the water. So found out I couldn't play hockey, but had still had passion. And I'm still skating, but I found a men's team here in Marinette, the Shamrocks. They skate. Oh, I almost fell. Okay, I gotta focus. Shamrocks, they're like a senior league, full contact men's team. Cool, great guys, cool idea, but man, I'm not going out there and playing full contact hockey. Guys fight there, and I'm just not doing it. So, but I'm skating with them, skating in the mornings, getting back on the ice, and just feeling amazing and feeling that passion again of hockey. Like, what is that about hockey? What is it about hockey? It's a powerful thing. The game we played our whole lives. Fell in love as a 5-year-old, shooting that puck around. Amazing, amazing feeling. And so I realized that I feel free when I'm out there. And part of being out there now, I feel this freedom to express myself in social media. Because I have a message. I have a book that has a message, man. And it's the real deal. And I know that if I want to get it out there to the world, social media is the way to do it. And what better opportunity than to be able to go play hockey, be able to rollerblade around in a Danbury Trashers jersey and capture social media content. So, but there was a part of me there. These are the real nice part of town here, right on the water. We'll show you the marina and all the sailboats that's next here. Not exactly street legal, but we'll see if I can sneak by and get out onto the boardwalk out there, or what's it called? The breakers. We'll get out to the retaining wall. I don't know what it's called. You'll see. So part of me was disappointed. Oh no, I don't get to play hockey. I felt that excitement about coming into a new season. I felt that excitement about, starting on a new quest, a hockey quest. And I just have so much knowledge after over 500 professional games, 10 years pro, played at every level, East Coast Hockey League, American Hockey League, NHL, UK Elite League, Danish League, Austrian League. I got to play in a lot of places. Such a huge blessing. And I realized that I had so much knowledge built up in this melon of mine that I was going to implement. Like, all right, I know what I got to do when I go into a new team, into a new training camp or a new tryout, or maybe you're a high school player, maybe you're a college player, pro, junior. That beginning, that first time the team gets together, it's an opportunity to set the tone. And I was like, all right, I know all the little tricks of the trade, the wisdom. I know what to do. I know when I get there, I go up and look every single guy in the eye, shake their hand, introduce myself to the staff, the coaches. Let people know that you're a gel guy, that you're going to be a guy who puts out a good vibration. brings the team together. So I was like, all right, I got that. That's easy. That's so obvious, but a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people will go into a camp, go into a new season, and oh dear, and sit there, you know, with fear or anxiety. Not that. I'm not that guy. I've learned over years wisdom. So I started thinking to myself, well, I have all this wisdom I was going to implement coming into a new season. So what do I do with it now? I have young sons. They don't play hockey, but I was like, man, imagine giving all this wisdom and insight to my sons or to my younger self. Man, if you could just package up that wisdom in a little container and hand that to a hockey player, what a powerful thing that would be. Wish I could have had that as a 18-year-old going off to junior tryouts, junior camps. Wish I could have had that wisdom going into a college hockey season. I was playing D1 college hockey at UMass Lowell. Had no idea about anything. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I'm that guy who has a call to package that up. So that's what we're working on right now. I'm packaging up all that wisdom, hockey wisdom. It's pretty much just a knowledge bomb. It's a hockey wisdom knowledge bomb. Maybe that'll be the name of it. Hockey wisdom knowledge bomb for young hockey players who are starting their seasons. Not just young hockey players, any hockey players. My target is the junior age player. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, college players, even pro players, and then even through high school players. But my target is that 20-year-old. All right. So anyway, I'm packaging that up right now. I'm writing that out. I'm recording videos, making a little course of just sharing all the hockey wisdom that I have over a lifetime of chasing the hockey dream and finding out the formula of what it takes to get there. Because I was never the best player, but I tell you what, I was always the hardest worker, and I found out a formula to implement on how to get incrementally better every single day, and certain habits to instill to get better every day. And then over the course of a season, they add up into mind-blowing improvements that allow you to make the jump to the next level. Then you make the jump to the next level, and you start it all over again. You might be the worst guy on the team, and on a lot of teams I was, but I implemented that. Implemented these 10 steps every day. Do these 10 easy steps. They're easy, they just take discipline and good habits. And then over the course of 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you make the jump. So I was able to do that, making the jump. That eventually led me to the NHL. I really believe that the sky's the limit. So more to come on that. We'll be announcing some of that later. But for right now, I want to take you on a little tour. This is Menominee, Michigan Marina, legendary place, and I have some big dreams of sailing someday. Sailing to the North Pole, sailing around the world. We'll see. But I spent a lot of time here just visualizing and daydreaming. It's a pretty special spot. And this is a breaker wall. I don't know if this is street legal, like I said, but we'll take you on a little tour. This is a very beautiful, special spot. This is Lake Michigan right here, one of the Great Lakes. And if you read my book, Lake Michigan plays a big part in my story. I grew up here, northern Wisconsin. It was always the Great Lakes, always Lake Michigan. And it seemed like all throughout my life it served as a mirror, a reflection mirror for me to look at my life. So it's kind of cool that I'm out here now, trying something new that I've never done before, a long form video like this, and just cruising. So look at this, beautiful. My book has a lot of, how we doing? A lot of references to Lake Michigan, and one of them is a moment where I almost lost the fight. I almost lost the fight after my concussion, going through some hard times, and I was looking out at old Lake Michigan, thinking very, very scary thoughts. Thank God I didn't act on those thoughts. But I know a lot of people are out there struggling. A lot of people are struggling with life. And part of my message is I want to bring hope. I want to bring hope to those who are broken, real hope. So that's what my book is. It's a story of sex, drugs, pucks, and souls. The rawest glimpse you could ever imagine. Oh man, sick stuff, man. But my real life, no filter. If you thought I was gonna mess around with this book and candy coat it and tiptoe on it, dude, this is the real deal. As deep as it gets, but it's a man's search for redemption across those 4 categories of brokenness: a broken sexuality, a broken drug life and addictions, a broken hockey career, and a broken soul, a dead soul. It's the search for redemption. And I found that. I found it. I completed the quest. So that's what I share in those pages. But it's no joke. Have a good one. It's no joke. So R-rated adult extreme content comes with a warning. The warning is this: warning, mature content, adult themes, graphic sexuality, explicit drug use, crude language, ultra violence, exploding bodily fluids, general mayhem, and depictions of insanity that some readers may find disturbing. And that's all true. And obviously, I say that stylistically, but I also say that truthfully. It's not for the faint of heart, but if you want a real story, you want a raw story about a hockey fighter fighting his way to the NHL with broken sexuality, sexual identity issues, just problems, and looking for a solution, covering it with drugs and alcohol, but searching for that solution and ultimately finding it. That's what the story is. All right, let's go check out the boardwalk. Well, if you're just tuning in here, or if you're still tuning in, wow, what a legend you are. I'm just cruising, man. I'm just cruising. Let's see if we can go down this thing. I don't think we're allowed to, but sorry, Bill. I'll go fast. We'll go full stride. There we go. Now we're feeling it. So this place, man, border town, the Great Lake. I always looked at this. You can hop in a boat here. You can sail anywhere you want in the world. I remember hearing that. Go down the St. Lawrence Seaway. You can go anywhere in the world. I remember that planted a big seed in my mind that I could accomplish big dreams. And I had that dream of playing in the NHL. Figured out the formula of how to attain a big dream. And then a bigger dream, I think, arguably more difficult to attain, writing the book that matters, writing the savage memoir that actually matters, that means something. I believe I've done that. I know I've done that. And so now that's what this whole thing is. That's what this is. This is spreading that message to the world. This is doubling down, man. We're hitting the road. Book tour, social media tour, getting the word out about this book. I've been kind of quiet about it. Just kind of letting the sales come naturally, knowing that those are seeds that go out, and then eventually it's going to just explode. It's going to hit that tipping point. But now I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on, force that tipping point to emerge. And how are we going to do that? Well, I have some cool ideas. Maybe I'll get into them here. Should we go down? Should we do the lighthouse? Yeah, we'll finish at the lighthouse, okay? All right, let's go downtown. This is what street? First Street, downtown Menominee. Legendary spot. Smells like weed. There's the famous restaurant in town, The Landing. High end. Surf and turf, baby. All right. So, I'll show you a cool spot too. I mentioned it in my book. So I met my wife here. She's from this town, Samantha. What an absolute beauty. An angel, man. Met her in this town after playing a gong show of a year. Amazing year. What a full gong show display. Belfast Giants, Belfast, Northern Ireland. I was in peak form, peak party form. Had given up on my hockey career. Was just living the life. Partying, chasing. The endless chase. You know that feeling out there, you. I know you do. The endless chase. Pleasure fix. Came back here to Wisconsin. You got to read that. You got to read that chapter. Crazy, crazy chapter. Came back here, met my wife. Oh, praise God. He sent me an angel. I met my wife. So in the book, what chapter is it? Chapter 6, I think. It says we spent some time on Fat Ladies Beach. Before I went to Denmark to play, I did the unthinkable. Because part of the whole hockey journey was, chasing girls, partying, going through, just living the life in Europe. Now I met this girl this one was different. This one was special. And right here on this beach, I asked her to come with me. I said, why don't you just come with me to Denmark? Here it is. The legendary Fat Ladies Beach. So we spent a lot of time here and just falling in love. And that's really when things started to change for me. I thought to myself, man, I got to get it together. I got to get my life together. I want to provide for this woman. And man, that was just the beginning of the climb. I don't want to give too much away here, or you won't buy my book, or will you? I'd given up on my hockey dream. I didn't want to fight, man. I was scared. I was a coward. I was a true coward. So scared to fight. But I was able to hide that shame and fear, and embarrassment and failure. I was able to hide it playing in Europe where there is no fighting, and life's good, But inside, I knew I gave up on my NHL dream. I knew it. There was always that ping in there. And so after my 4th year pro, 2 years here in the minor leagues in America, 1 year in the American Hockey League, 1 year in the East Coast Hockey League, AAA, AA, if you don't know the hockey lingo. I jumped ship. I said, screw it. I'm gonna go play in Europe where there is no fighting, life's good, beers are cheap and cold, delicious. And I went out there just living the life. Then I finally had to address my failure. I had to address it. I had to look myself in the mirror and say, you gave up, Bobby, because you were a coward. Oh, that was a hard one. That was a hard one. So, some crazy stuff happened. My whole life fell apart. I had my woman now, but everything else fell apart. And then the thought came. The thought, it emerged. It bubbled up. It bubbled up out of nowhere. It bubbled up out of a place in me that was dormant, dead and dormant. And it bubbled up and it said, I can make it to the NHL. I will make it to the NHL. And I was already an old man at this point, unheard of. 28 years old already, 29. But I looked at what was happening in the NHL and all the big goons, the big destroyers, they were getting phased out of the NHL. And the new fighter, the new tough guy, the new fourth line checker was somebody who could skate. They could skate fast. They could finish their checks and they could fight, okay? And I was like, dude, that's me. I was fast, I was a great body checker. But one thing was lacking, the fighting. So the fighting aspect was lacking. And that's when I made a decision. I made a list of my options. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm making a list of my options. And the hardest one and the most difficult one to attain was the one with the most reward, the most payoff. And it was option 5, fight your way to the NHL. And even writing it and saying it was terrifying. But I just knew, man. I knew it was my destiny. And I knew I could do it. Belief, man. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I hoped for it. I didn't see it yet, but I could kind of see it. I could visualize it. That's what faith is. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I put my hope into action and my faith into action, and I committed my life to it. I was doing fight training, hockey training, skating, fighting, diet, lost a bunch of weight, got shredded. It's all come full circle now, 15 years later, because I'm doing that now. Getting in shape again, getting shredded, chasing a big dream, having that vision in my mind, seeing it out there, and just attacking it every day, moving closer to it. But man, step by step, starting at the East Coast Hockey League, climbed my way up, got to the American Hockey League, got called up to the Providence Bruins, AHL, American Hockey League, big time program, big time city, big time arena, the Dunkin' Donut Center, it's different now, but back in those days, it was the Dunk, 10,000 fans, man. It was the real deal, farm team for the Boston Bruins, the Providence Bruins. I remember saying at that point, just getting called up to the AHL would have proved it to me that anything's possible. But then I got there. Look at this. Oh, Lake Michigan, a mirror stretching out endless and eternal. Look at that thing. A lot of thoughts out here. A lot of thoughts. Internal monologues out here. A lot of dreaming out here on the shores of Lake Michigan. And still doing that. So it became a mainstay in the AHL. Dude, became the real deal. When I got there, I couldn't hang with a lot of the big heavyweights, but then after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, now I'm fighting these guys. I'm training with amazing trainers. Doug Smith, shout out, you legend. The Goon, you've seen the movie Goon? He was my fight coach, Doug Smith. His real name isn't Doug Glatt, Doug Smith. Wonderful, wonderful coach, great motivator. Taught me how to fight, taught me how to stay in that pocket. Don't spin out of it, Bobby, stay in that pocket. Keep going. Oh, it taught me how to chase a big dream. And then it happened, signed a 2-year deal with the Boston Bruins at 31 years old. Unheard of. I said, that ain't it. I got that contract, I'm making the team. So then that was my quest. NHL lockout happened my first year of my contract. And led the entire Earth in fighting majors. I think it was my first year. It was either my first year of my contract. Oh, I'm sorry. It was the year before my first year of my contract. I was on an American League contract. And the lockout happened, so the AHL was stacked. Skill, toughness, it was amazing. We were so good, man. Chris Bork, legend, scoring goals in the dunk. We had some good players, Torrey Krug on that team, Kevin Miller, legends. We were a good team, and I led the whole earth in fighting majors with 41 tilts, just fighting for a dream. Ended up signing that 2-year contract of destiny with the Boston Bruins, and it would be another year after that where I finally made it. Became the oldest rookie to make an NHL opening day roster at 32 years old. Unheard of. Unheard of if you know hockey. There's a small segment of the population who knows just how crazy that was. But I was just crazy enough to believe it, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So I just kept moving in that direction. Kept moving toward that vision, moving toward that dream, and it happened. And then I knew life would finally make sense. I knew, what's up, man? I knew life would finally make sense. All those issues, all those sexual issues, the confusion, sexual identity, personal identity, anxieties, addictions, all those confusions would all make sense once I found my identity as the NHL enforcer, the Savage. And I tell you what, things made sense for about a week. Am I giving away too much? I'll say this. After a week, I got a career-ending injury after only 3 games in the NHL. So if you're looking for some blue chip, VIP, MVP, Jaromir Jagr, Mark Messier kind of story, you're gonna have to go elsewhere. This story is for the ones who are willing to scrape and gnaw and claw and fight for every inch that life's gonna give you. So if you're one of those types of people, then this one's for you. 3 games in the NHL, and I fell so quickly from the top of the world to the bottom of a pit that I could not escape from. And so that's what the story is about. Sex, drugs, pucks, and souls. It's that climb, the fall into utter insanity. Insanity. The demons came out to get me, man. The demons came to destroy me, to devour me. God had a different plan, but they came for me, and I captured it. I frickin' captured it, man. Unlike anything that's ever been captured in literature before. And if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Chapter 10, Crack My Head Open. Chapter 11, The Medicine Man. Chapter 12, Top of the Mountain. Gets me fired up. Gets me fired up because I know that this book is going to have a massive impact on you. And I know that in this crazy world we live in, who reads books anymore? Lucky for you, audiobook coming out 1 month's time. That's the deadline we have. What's going on, man? Audiobook is slick. I read it. It's my voice. I read that thing. One of the hardest things I've ever done. But oh, it sounds so cool. Sex, Drugs, Pucks, and Souls audiobook. It's coming soon. But man, even if you're not a reader, so many people have said to me, "Oh, Bobby, I'm not a reader. Not a reader." But I read your book and I couldn't put it down. It's because there's something about it. It has an anointing on it. It's the real deal, man. So yeah, I guess I sound like a salesman now, but I poured my heart and soul and life into this thing. And I would love it if you heard my story. It can change your life, man, forever. So that's where we're at. I'm sitting on this story. Audiobook's coming out. I'm talking to some big wigs here about making a movie. I'm looking for the right person who wants to make a movie. who wants to make a Netflix mini-series, documentary. I've captured it in the written word. Now I need somebody to partner with to capture it on film. And I'm gonna need a little bit more than my 360 action camera here. I'm looking for the real deal. Somebody who wants to make a savage piece of art. Savage art that will live forever on the screen, man. So that's what we're in talks with now. Looking to take things to the next level. Looking to get serious. Looking to get serious about marketing, hiring a marketing firm. We're just taking this to a pro level. So give me a follow. I'm Bobby Robbins Pro. Bobby Robbins Pro, kind of like a MacBook Pro. Taking it to that next level, that pro level. That's what I did in my hockey career. I was a pro, but I wasn't a real pro. And then I took it to that next level and found out what it takes to really get there and to make the NHL. I became a good pro. Same thing with this book. Got serious about writing a savage memoir, extracting something that matters, being a pro. And now I know that I have to, with marketing, with media, I have to be a pro too. So I'm hiring pros and looking to partner with pros who want to get this done and get this story out there. Because it's a story that matters. We're all struggling. We're all looking for our identity. We're all on a quest, a great quest. And this book serves as a, what does it serve as? It's like a video game in Zelda where the little treasure chest opens up and you get like a map in there. You get a magic book. That's what it serves as. It's that book that's gonna lead you on your journey. And speaking of, here you go. I have copies here for sale at the Book Nook. Come check it out. We had a legendary book signing here. The Book Nook, downtown 1st Street in Menominee, Michigan. Copies of the Savage Memoir are in there, right across from the clamshell over there. So be sure to visit the Book Nook and support that local business. Oh boy, tough stride. So, one thing I decided I'm gonna do as I go pro here, so to speak, and really take this journey seriously about getting on the road, about spreading the word about this book, I'm gonna document it. And I always just had a knowing that I needed to get a 360 camera. And it just feels right. It took me a while, a lot of shopping, a lot of comparing prices on Amazon and things like that. I finally decided that I was gonna do it. Finally bought the camera. Like, it's all about making decisions now. I knew it. I knew that's the camera I needed. Finally made the decision, and I'm right. So now I'm learning to trust my instinct. I trust my instinct above all else. My instinct exists for my best interest. It has my best interest in mind. It exists to keep me alive. So, moving forward, I'm done listening to doubt, done listening to doubters, done listening to lies in the mind, lies in the heart. No way, man. I'm only listening to the voice of truth, the voice of my instinct and the voice of God. So I'm walking in that truth now and living out my quest, my personal legend, my journey. What's up, man? Something about this place here, the Spirit House. And there's an instinct there. There's an instinct there. What's at the Spirit House? Maybe an event. What's up, man? Maybe some kind of an event at the Spirit House that I've been seeing. A public reading, maybe. I don't know. But now it's just listening to those those instincts, listening to those whispers and following the signs and the omens as I embark on my great quest. And as I'm on it, I'm going to document it for you, because I know that you're on a quest too. And hopefully by watching my quest, you'll be inspired to live out your own quest too. I guess that's how this whole thing works, right? I guess we'll find out. All right, we're gonna switch things up now. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna walk and talk with no filter, ramble, rap, drop some knowledge, see what happens. So I started out on this journey here. Oh, there it is. There it is. I saw it. Another sign. Oh, there it is. Another sign. Look at that place. Old world. What's up, man? Wow. A sign. We're hitting the road on a book tour. And I've been kind of thinking about a really cool Sprinter van to hit the road and pulling along a trailer full of books. And there it is. There it was, another one. I keep seeing them everywhere now. It's like that red car theory. You ever hear that one? Or if you think about a red car, you'll just see the red car all the time. I've been thinking about this Sprinter, black Sprinter, and now I'm seeing them everywhere. And there was one that just drove by with a trunk full of savage memoirs, perhaps. So, as we hit the road, and as we go on this epic quest, I don't know where it's gonna lead, but, I gotta go here. I don't know where it's gonna lead, but we're going for it, and I'm gonna document it. That's my promise to you. I'm going to document it through vlogs, through social media. I kind of like these long forms. You'll have to let me know what you think. Oh man, I'm rollerblading on bricks right now. Feeling the vibration. Putting out the vibration. All right, I gotta switch it up. There we go. What was I saying? So we're gonna put it out. We're gonna put out the frequency, capture it, and put it out there, and share it with you. So, man, I appreciate you. If you're watching this, please share this, spread the word on this. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit that little bell notification, because I don't know how often I'm gonna be doing releases and videos like this, but I definitely want to get on a schedule. I want to get on a schedule. Man, ideally, I was like, every day? Could I do it every day? I don't know, man. I don't want to commit to anything right now off the cuff, but I definitely want to have a consistent output of media and content. So hit that bell so you know when I publish something, and we're gonna be laying it out there, lay it on the line, documenting this whole thing, documenting it, meeting people. Man, all right, I got a rollerblade on the bricks. I was gonna take the back way over the old Hattie Street Bridge, but I'm gonna show you the main bridge from Menominee to Marinette. I'm gonna show you the warships. Here's where all the weed dispensaries are, right under the bridge. Nirvana over there, Higher Love. So people just can come right over the bridge. Right now, if you read my book, you're gonna see that, oh boy, weed is a big part of my story. Weed is a big part of my story. Oh man, but right now, I truly believe, for me, with no judgment on anybody, I believe for me that sobriety is a superpower. And right now, I need superpower in my life for what my big goal is that I'm shooting for. So I live in an area where you can just cross the bridge and get weed if you want to. And there was a time in my life where that would have seemed like heaven to me. But right now, I'm trying to focus on sobriety as a superpower. And you know, I failed last weekend up in the UP. You know, we went out for drinks, and that's fine. We had a great time up there. But I regrouped and said, you know what, alcohol right now, it's just not for me. So I'm finding out who I am without these chemicals and substances. And it feels pretty good. And I tell you what, I don't have anxiety anymore. It's not there anymore. Dude, I'm skating around my hometown in a frickin' Danbury Trashers jersey with a 5-foot-long selfie stick out in front of me. Looks like a fishing rod, dangling a 360 camera, talking into a lavalier microphone, looking like a crazy person. I really don't care anymore. I don't have any anxiety. But when I'm drinking alcohol and when I'm smoking weed, I have anxiety. So I want to find out who I really am. Who I really am. And it's a test. It's a test of temptations. Oh, the great test of temptations. All right, we're on the bridge now from Menominee, Michigan. Now we're headed to Marinette. This is probably going to be the end of the trip here. But I'm going to show you the biggest industry in town, what we specialize in up here. It used to be paper mills, it used to be cheese, but now we specialize in warships. Some savage ships. I don't know if you can see them back there. Giant military ships, warships. So Marinette Marine is what it's called, or is what it used to be called. I think it's called something else now. But they make those, like, I don't know if they're $1 billion or hundreds of millions of dollar warships. It's just a crazy world we live in. It's a crazy world. But in this crazy world, I've decided I'm going to put out a frequency of sanity. It might look like craziness, but it's a frequency of sanity and truth. And that's what this channel is all about. That's what Bobby Robbins Pro is all about. That's what I'm all about. That's what my book's all about, and my message. And we're taking it to the world. No more fear. No more fear. Dude, after putting this book out, I have zero fear. Zero about what you think of me, about what anyone thinks of me. The things I shared in that book, shocking stuff. But you know what? It brought me to a place where I no longer fear the opinions of others. I know who I am. I know my identity now. So I'm going to walk in that peace that I feel. I'm going to walk in that truth that I know, and I'm going to spread the message. So thanks for following along. I'm going to end here on legendary Stevenson Island, named after the Stevenson family, of whom Ike Stevenson, who's now passed, I can say I sailed on his sailboat. And you know what he said to me? He looked at me. I was just this hockey fighter. He looked at me and he goes, "We'll make a sailor out of you yet, Bobby." So we'll see. I feel that great big world calling me right now. But for right now, here I am in this town where I started my hockey journey for the Marinette Menominee Chiefs. And now we're gonna see where this journey goes next. Follow along, subscribe, hit that notification bell. BobbyRobbins.com if you wanna buy my savage memoir, Sex, Drugs, Pucks, and Souls. Let's go over this bridge. Oh, we'll go this way. Give me a follow on social media, @BobbyRobbinsPro. TikTok's blowing up. YouTube's blowing up. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hit me up. I'm sharing the message. And if you have any questions, ask me a question. I'll record a hour-long rollerblading video like this, answering your question. So now our journey ends. I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you next time on the great Spirit Quest. Let's go.